ahead, Christine.
Okay, so I started by finding G prime. So you would do the inverse rule on F.
Tell me exactly what to write.
Oh, I got G prime of X equals 1 over F prime parentheses F inverse X.
Pause for a minute, Christine. That's very good. Okay, that's perfect what she did. Does anyone in the room need help in understanding why that's the valid thing to do? Going like this is very helpful, or going like this is whatever. Any kind of feedback is helpful, especially since y'all look like bandits, you know, so. No facial expressions whatsoever. But you need help to there. Okay, keep going.
Okay, I wasn't entirely sure where to go after that. I knew you were trying to find G prime of 3. So I tried to understand the graph, the value of F at 3, but I don't know if that's right because I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with the inverse.
Okay, so you're doing okay. Let me just say something for the video. Whenever I see a problem where they reference the inverse of some function, I'm always thinking of this idea, not because they will for sure use it, but honestly they never have failed to not use it. Like they just always have used that. And so when they say find G prime of 3, my thought is I need the derivative of this. But because these two are the same, that means I need the derivative of this. And Christine is right. The formula sheet says the derivative of F inverse can be found by simply taking 1 divided by F prime of F inverse. And that's, just for those on the video, that's why the green is correct. Please.
So then could you plug in F prime into the F inverse? Like where it's 1 over F prime of F inverse? Could you put
Tell me exactly what to write, Elizabeth.
Could you put instead 1 over F prime of G for that?
Oh, you could, for sure. Like you could say, because G and F inverse are the same thing, you could have written this. There's nothing wrong with that. That would be a perfect use of the equal sign. Just saying I can substitute one thing for another. Keep going.
Okay, that's just what I did, and I didn't know really where to go from there. I think that's kind of where I got stuck.
So where would you go?
So then you can plug in the value in the chart to give X, right?
Just tell me what to write, Christine.
So G of 3 equals -1.
G prime of 3. Right?
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
you're plugging it into the 1 over F prime to give X.
Right, so what you really want to be writing, so again, notation is going to give you a better test score, I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah. So it'd be G prime of 3 equals 1 over F prime -1. And then F prime of -1 would be...
Hold on one second. F prime of G of 3. Let's just go with steps here.
Okay, sorry.
Stop, pause for a second. Okay, big idea. We need to find G prime of 3, so we need a formula for G prime of any x. Once we have the formula for G prime of any x, now we can specify which x. You want to talk more there? Keep going.
Okay, so then you would have G prime of 3 equals 1 over F prime -1. And then the next line would be G prime of 3.
Let me just show for the video. So G of 3 means I come up here where x is 3. I go find the value of G, that's -1. That's where this became -1. Keep going, Christine.
So G prime of 3 would be 1 over 5.
Because when x is -1, f prime's value is 5, so hence 1/5. Please, Jake.
Doesn't the inverse like literally mean the x and y values switch so you could find f prime by just going to f 3 and then over to what the x value was?
Okay, everybody in the room needs to follow what Jake is saying. Because, okay, first question is, did anybody have a question on the method we used so far? Like, you don't have to have a question, you just have to have an inkling of like, I need to talk about that. Do we need to talk about anything here? Okay, what Jake is saying, you all need to make sure you understand, because I've seen other problems that are of this kind of flavor, where if you don't understand what Jake is talking about, you will get stuck again. This problem kind of had two paths to success, but a lot of them don't. They just have one path. You don't follow that path, you won't find the end. So Jake's saying, well, let's just go with the green. I think that's what you're saying. And let's plug in the, x equal 3 right there. So we write g prime of 3 is equal to 1 over f prime of f inverse of 3. And then this is how I like to represent it. I like to show that, you can just see it here because we already have a table. Notice this. The table is showing you f and f. No, it doesn't show f inverse. Let's add a column right here. F inverse. I want to see how well the whole room can do this. This will show up again on a test. This table says that if you plug in x equal negative 3 into f, you get a value of 2. This isn't going to work. Hold on. I'm going to make a separate table here. So we're going to make another table over here, x and f inverse. Okay, so this says if you plug in negative 3 into x, the f value will be 2. Please raise your hand if you know what information I can now put into this table based on that observation. There we go. What can I put into that, Derek?
If you plug in 2 for the inverse on the inverse table, then you'll get negative 3.
How many knew that? Perfect. That's what inverse means. So let's do another one. So if I know if I plug in negative 1 for x, the value of f is 3. So don't overthink it, but what goes here now then? Let's go, Omega.
If you do 3 of the x, that would be negative 1.
How many knew that one? So now we got the idea, right? Maybe. So if I plug in 0 for x and get a negative 5 for f, what's up? What goes over there? Let's go, Christine. That's how f inverse and f are related. Like, it doesn't make any sense to say this is f inverse. You have to think of them together. Like, you have f and f inverse. They're kind of mirror images of each other. So what else can go in the blue table? Hands, come on. What else can go in the blue table? Let's go, Elizabeth.
If x is 1, then f inverse is negative 7.
Oh, don't get it backwards. So if x is 1, f itself is negative 7. So what does that mean over here?
Sorry, I have my table in opposite.
Oh, this way. Oh, just be careful how you say it. So when x is negative 7, f inverse is 1. Is that okay?
Yeah, my table is just written
Oh, I
backwards,
gotcha.
so I have it.
No worries, no worries. So that's what Jake is using, because he said, hey, look, right here I found it. I need f inverse of 3. So for f inverse, when x is 3, the y value is negative 1. And that's why he was able to say that g prime of 3 is this. And now you're back to the same place we were here, just a different path of getting there. Anyone want to talk about it? Please, Zach.
Can you say what you said, like just barely?
Huh? So, and again, I'll try to get you to say it because then it will stick in your head better. Are you okay with the blue table? Awesome. So, the reason I made the blue table is I was trying to find what is F inverse of 3 equivalent. Like, what is F inverse of 3? Right, because the table tells me that when you plug in a -3 into F inverse, the y value of F inverse is -1. So that's how I get from here to here.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that your question? Cool. Anything else here from anyone?